Hey guys, welcome back to another Lore Hoard video. We're your hosts. I'm Sam, this is Corey, and we are going to be talking to you about getting started in Disney Lorcana. Now, we asked a bunch of members from the community what their thoughts are on the game, what they loved about it, what they want to know about how to get started in playing, whether you're a new player, returning player, or just want a better idea of the game in general. So, Corey, on our Instagram story, we had a bunch of questions today.
Yes.
Let's take it away with the first one here from Lukey.
Right, Lukey, honestly, shout out, really good friend of mine. He reached out to us. We started doing these videos a couple of weeks ago, and we just started talking. We have our meta reports, we have our gameplay, and he was one of the first people to reach out going, what is this game? And how does one start playing? And it actually leads us into his question is, how does one start playing? For me, I was introduced to the game by some family and some friends who love Disney, love card games, and they were like, hey, this guy's a nerd, he'd probably enjoy it. Turns out I did. I enjoyed it too much. And now welcome to Lord.
Don't we all? Like, anything we got here.
Yeah. But honestly, how does one start playing Lorcana? I personally found it to be really easy to pick up a starter deck. There's a really, really good video from Inkborn Heroes, which will pop with a link in the description.
Big
they
shout out
actually
to them.
show you. Shout out to them. They did a great video on how to play Lorcana.
Like the basics, the 101 of Disney Lorcana, like how to read the cards, to understand certain abilities, what kind of cards there are in the game, all of that cool stuff. It's covered in their video, so check it out.
Go and check it out. It's honestly amazing job by them. There's a reason they are kind of like a standpoint in our Lorcana community. But even at your local game store, they have some staff there that are amazing that will help you and sit with you and teach you how to play Lorcana. We've also got our gameplay videos which you can check out, which kind of give you a very, very rough how to. If you don't follow what I do, follow Sam, because he's actually a good player at this game. I just like talking.
You say that, but the most recent video I got absolutely hammered by our mate Nick in Amethyst Steel. But yeah, those gameplay videos, I mean, not just ours, but anyone you see that posts gameplay from either their local scene or tournaments or anything like that, you get a really good bird's eye view of what's going on in the game and a bit of a gist on how to do it. But for the basics, the 101, go check out Inkborn Heroes video. We'll link it, as Corey said, in the description below.
Yeah, and check out those starter decks. They're the best way to start personally. You do get a free booster pack out of it, which is always fun. I think I've had better hits out of that booster pack.
Those starter decks as well, I will say, they come with obviously like a pre-constructed deck, has a variety of card types. It gives you instructions on how to play the game, comes with some tokens so you can track damage and things like that, and even I think a paper playmat so you can sort of see like how to lay out your board as well. I think it's pretty cool. Great way to get into the game. I know that when I started, it was very similar deal. Like we ended up buying just a bunch of packs and giving it a go. Like me and my partner Lexi, she comes home one day, she says, Sam, there's this amazing Disney game coming out, and I'm like, oh yeah, what is it? She goes, oh, it's a trading card game. I'm sat there thinking, I have never played a trading card game before, so spoiler alert, this is my first ever TCG and I am hooked. My god. It's completely taken over. Aside from the obvious hobby behind me, Disney Lorcana is just an amazing thing. It's allowed me to make a lot of friends, but it's also, you know, you meet loads of people in the community, amazing people, play some games, have a chat, and like for me, it's my weekly, like I get to go out and see people thing.
In my case, I've got a beautiful little 4-year-old and another bub on the way. Rather than wasting my money on alcohol that's just going to come out of the bottom of a porcelain bowl anyway, why not spend it on cardboard that my daughter can tear up? It's great.
Yeah, just keep the enchanters away.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
But yeah, look, if you really are looking to get into the game, go to your local game store. Honestly, biggest shout out to the local game store scene. They are people that are dedicated to having fun in this space, not just Lorcana, but other TCGs, board games, everything, right? Even tabletops. So go to them, see if they do any events, any locals, maybe pick up a starter deck or play with one that they might have, like for people to use for the first time, and you know, see how you find the game, talk to some people. It is scary. You know, when I first went to locals, it was like, oh my god, there are so many people here. What do I do? How do I do this because never done it. But honestly, just jump in, have some fun, learn the game, make some mistakes, and you'll just have a great time.
Yeah, head first is the best way to go, unless it's the shallow side of a pool.
Yeah, no, don't do that.
But we'll move on from that question, of course. Now, Sam, I believe you've looked at the next couple of questions quite well from
Yep.
K Dizzle.
I got a couple here. He asked some really cool questions. I like these. Go for it. Which one we hitting?
So the first one I got for you, which it's a very interesting question, is how does the meta shape how you build a deck?
It's a really good question. Honestly, it's a tough one to answer because it depends on what cards you have, what you're wanting to do with it, and where you want to take like your level of playing to. So I might break it down into just a couple of points, right? So look at the metagame. What are you seeing at your, like, let's say you go to your local store every week or, a couple of times a week here or there. And you notice that people are playing a certain type of deck or ink color a lot more than others, right? Look at how they're formed, how they're built, what their interactions are. Like, look at their what's called a win condition. What are they trying to do to achieve that big, the big 20 lore, the dub, taking it home, right? And ask yourself, do you want to do the same thing? Do you want to do something a little bit different? Do you want to do something that's considered like anti-meta, go against the grain and do your own thing? Or do you want to find a really comfortable middle ground that suits your playstyle? Whichever way you look at it, build your deck to how you are comfortable playing. We've got a couple of questions here about deck building and all that kind of thing, but whenever you are building a deck, especially when looking at the meta, it's so great to take inspiration from some of the bigger names in the community, looking at their lists and seeing what's what. But take that or start fresh, whichever one you want to do, and just build it to your playstyle. I think that's the biggest thing.
I agree with you right there, Sam. To find a deck that's DKP has said, Zen Syed, Skylar from the most recent PBS, their decks are great. They're winning for a reason.
Yeah.
But what can you do to make it suitable for you? Well, for example, I just want to put this out. Our current local meta has clearly turned into aggro.
It's an element of that, but there are some other odds and ends popping up.
There's odds and ends, but I would say for the last few weeks, a majority of it has been aggro builds. Shout out to the one guy who's running a challenge deck. I love that. But the way that we get around that aggro is to put on board removal. Right, so I would think back to last week and go, okay, I saw 4 decks that were aggro. They're all running low-cost characters that are weak, but I'm running Blurple at the moment. So I need to build the board and build the presence first and slowly get around those aggravation-style decks. What's the best way to do it? Pop into board removal.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, when I'm looking at an aggro meta, we're seeing a lot of decks come up that are Amber Steel based. We're looking at the Nala, the Rhino, the Shift Rhino, Daisy, Calhoun's, all of that stuff. The sort of big questers, the cheap big questers as well. Cost to play. You really want to look at how do they work? How are they structured? Right? For me, I'm playing blue-green. Corey loves this deck. I love this deck. It's based around the idea of how do I remove things in a way that benefits me the most. So, I've got cards like You Welcome, Mother Knows Best, a 4 and 3 cost song respectively that, allows me to remove things from the board, doesn't matter what they are, as long as it doesn't have Ward. But the biggest thing I think that I have that counts as aggro specifically is Under the Sea. Big board wipe, it's the only one left in the game now, and it just pretty much completely wipes out an aggro player's board. And if you pair that with a song like Heads Held High in Sapphire, it reduces the strength of every opposing character, You can banish illusions with it, by the way, because you can choose to remove damage from them. But it reduces that strength and then provides a much wider target for Under the Sea to actually hit, so that you're removing more threats. So yes, it works for aggro, but it also works for things like Amethyst Steel, where you've got a lot of characters with like 3 or more strength on board, you know?
Yeah, it's interesting to see how the meta shapes and how you as a player evolve. I was gonna say digivolve. How players evolve in their own game styles.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for teching into like a meta and how it shapes your deck is to look at what your local scene is playing. Look at how you play as a player. Like, what are your favorite combos, your ink colors? What do you really sort of like to do? Like for me, I love a control deck. It's really great because it allows me to set up, basically just impose what I want on the board, and just, you know, take the late game.
Just
because
stop
I think
anyone from doing anything.
Well, for me, the late game is more interesting than the early game. But for aggro players, I think the early game is really where you're going to make or break the game, right? Like, you want to win in turn 5, by turn 5. So for somebody that is playing a control deck, or even, you know, a tempo deck, how do you position yourself to counter that, right? It's not like Magic the Gathering where you can say, oh, in response, I'll do this. You know, you still have, each turn is one person's turn, so you have to look at what they're going to set up for the next turn, what you can set up from your hand, what you think you might draw, how to maybe search for things. You know, there are loads of options to do, and it can get overwhelming. So when you're looking at deck building, go online, look at some cards that you like and build outwards. Aside from making somebody else's list your own, if you like the idea of like a particular card or an ability or something like that, or even a theme, right? Like, choose something and build around it. Keep your win condition to like 1 or 2 things. So don't have a deck that goes, I want to challenge here, I want to quest lots here, I want to, you know, remove lots of threats here in other ways, because I think you're going to make your deck less consistent. So, you know, they say this is cliche, but consistency is king, right? Like, you want to make sure that your deck will run as smoothly as possible, so that you know how it plays, you know what's going to come up. You know, that's why we have the 4 copy rule. So take it up with what you want to do, have a look at the cards, build around it, and test it, you know?
Yeah, testing. I can't.
Yeah, there is a high chance you are going to lose a lot before you master what deck you want to build. It's how I learned. It's how a lot of people I know learn the game, and it just comes with play the game, see how you go. You know, you might just build something so good that it just works straight away, and if you do, congrats to you, teach me. Or you might be like me, that builds a deck that you really want to work with a cool like combo or something, and you just need that time to improve it, to finesse it, right? Yeah, I feel that. It's taken me quite a while to learn exactly how to play Burkle. I think I'm almost there, but it's coming. It's testing. It's just testing. Same with me and blue-green, you know? Even Ruby Amethyst, I'm still refining that deck even as we're recording this video. But look, we'll move on to the next question, Corey, because I think we've got a bit of a fun one here, right? We've got one from a friend of ours that says, what ink color would you be? So Corey, if you had to choose an ink color, like that you think probably describes you, identifies you, like if you saw it, you know, oh, hey, there's Corey, what would it be?
I would like to say Sapphire.
Ah, okay.
I started playing Lorcana as a Sapphire Steel player. I started in first chapter trying to build a deck around Tamatoa. And the people that I was playing with at the time, the moment I cracked out Tamatoa, they would give up. They were like, all right, I'm done, thanks. Yeah. And then as Inklands came about and Lucky Dime came in, it was just non-stop. And that,
they just looked at it and went, oh, it's over. I can't compete.
Pretty much. And then come chapter 4, Ursula's Return, we got heavily into actually competitive playing. I learned what discard was and hated my life.
Oh man, discard. I remember joining Lorcana and Ursa's Return where Discard really kicked off. Thankfully, Bucky was, I think, errata just shortly after that, or maybe around the time of Ursa's launching. But oh my days, Discard just made, as a new player going up against that at locals and at set champs for set 5, I think it was. Oh, it hurt. It really hurt. It crushes your soul a little bit, but it was such a strong deck at the time.
It was a great time to hate the game, that's for sure. I personally would think that I'm Sapphire. I've played Sapphire pretty much every set. I loved the Ruby Sapphire build from last rotation, realistically. I couldn't get it to work. I just couldn't pilot it right. The amount of times I would test it, I just couldn't do it. But I love the Sapphire. And then, of course, little TK banner. And then I picked up Sapphire Steel again, and I was happy. And then bye-bye Popsicle, and then I'm going to cry.
But, you know, if I'm going to say this quite frankly, mate, I think Sapphire is you to a T, right? Like, you're all about the resources, you're all about supporting, and I think that's your playstyle for sure.
I appreciate it. What about yourself?
Look, I've had a bit of time to think about this. I'm torn between 2, but I'm leaning towards 1. If I had to choose, I think I'd be Emerald. Reason being, the reason being, A, I love green. Blue's my favorite color, but green is like a close second, right? But I think I love the way it plays as a color that can combo into different playstyles. Like, it's really versatile, a lot more versatile than people think, especially when you're looking at things like steel. I think it pairs really nicely into Sapphire. It pairs really nicely into steel, and especially amethyst, oddly enough. But it allows you to be like kind of tricky, kind of crafty, kind of sneaky. You know, you're doing stuff that might be seen as a negative. Like, I love the song You're Welcome, right? Like, out of the movie, yeah, sure, fantastic. Dwayne Johnson, got a set of pipes on you, mate. But I love the actual song card in Lorcana because, I'm gonna remove something from your board, but you're gonna have 2 cards. Hit them with an ink geyser straight afterwards, like in blue-green. Oh my God, it's just, just being able to say, gotcha, it's so fun. I tell you what, I think it's definitely the ink color that represents how I play the game the most. I started, my second deck that I ever built was Emerald Steel. I don't know if you remember this one, Corey. It was Beast Relentless with Sheriff of Nottingham.
I don't.
It was the 1-turn win. You had to set up to turn 5, I think.
Oh, is that the infinite tapping one that you were doing?
Yeah. You had the Bayou, Sheriff of Nottingham, Beast Relentless. So you'd like quest, draw a card, discard 1, ping a damage on something, ready Beast to do it all over again until you get to 20.
Yeah, it's starting to ring a bell,
It never took off as a deck because I just think it wasn't like, I don't think it ever really, like, it tried, I think, around the time of the Floodborn. But yeah, I love that deck. I still have it built. It took me forever to chase down the beasts, and I was like, oh my God, it was the first legendary single I ever bought, and I'm like, oh my God, this is insane. What is this card? It was like $9 at the time I bought it. And I'm sat there thinking, for a piece of cardboard, wow, this must be amazing. But yeah, look, Emerald, I think for sure would be me. Like, I love the tricky plays. I love the, like, you could deal with a lot of evasives. You can remove things in a fun way. Yeah, I think that's me to a T.
Yeah, I think you're right. Okay, outside of what we've picked, side note, outside of what we picked, personally, I think for what I know you, as we first started playing and we've slowly built that friendship that we have, I would also see you as Steel.
Steel, okay.
Yes, personally, I think you're very resourceful. You back up your plays. You're very calculated about where you do play your cards. And it's,
you say that, but mate, half the time I'm guessing.
Honestly, you are such a smart player in this game. And to see how you calculate how you work with things, honestly, it's amazing to watch. And I commend you for picking up this game as well as you have.
Oh, thanks, man. If that's really nice, you know. And if I'm looking at you, I'm thinking amethyst.
Oh?
Yeah, no, hear me out, right? if you're looking at like keeping yourself ready to go, you're ready to respond, you got a lot of card draw, you're looking at how can I maximize my board, low cost or evasives, you're thinking how can I strategically put myself in a position that forces my opponent to respond to me. And I think Amethyst does that really well. And I think aside from Sapphire being full of support and like resource management and making sure that you're like always prepping to do things, and it goes to saying that you're learning the level, right? Sapphire Amethyst. But you have the responses to pretty much anything that's thrown at you. And again, like, yes, there's still the versatility in there, but I do think from my side of things, when you make those calculated plays, I'm like, actually, he's thought about like, how do I gain as much of an advantage in just sheer card presence, like in my hand on the board, as I can. And for me, that's been something to really admire while watching you play.
Thank you very much. But let's move into another question here.
Yeah,
we've got a couple of really nice ones actually from the same person. One thing, we've got Whispers in the World around the corner.
Yeah.
Following that is Winter Wonderland.
Winterspell.
Sorry, Winter Wonderland.
Mate, I know it's nearly Christmas, but like, whoa.
Yeah, let's pump the brakes on that. We've got Winterspell coming up, which also introduces Pixar.
Yeah,
we've got a question here.
Does.
We've got a question here, and I'm excited for it because I've thought about this question.
Yeah, go for it.
And I haven't answered that so far out of the box.
Yeah.
What Pixar franchise are you most excited to see in Lorcana?
Oh, okay. I have an answer for this too, and I don't think you're gonna know what I'm saying. But
hit me with it.
Okay. I love this movie so much. I rewatched it literally yesterday at the time of recording with Lexi, and it still makes me like, I don't usually get emotional at movies, but it makes me feel things. Elementals.
You know what? I've never seen it.
Have you never seen? Oh, mate, you have to watch it.
I've never seen it. I'm so sorry. I've never seen it.
Let down, no. But Elementals, and when you do watch it, you'll completely understand what I'm talking about when I say this. And for you guys watching, if you know Elementals, you'll know why I'm saying this. But the versatility, the sheer like potential that you have to bring that franchise potentially into Lorcana. I don't think it's going to come in soon, but if it does, oh my god. But there are so many possibilities that you have with Elementals to bring it back down to just core ink. Like, what does this represent, right? There are so many options, and I think Elementals would be a really, really interesting one to bring in. But that's my take. So you've got an answer, Corey. Let me hear it. What would you like? What Pixar franchise would you love to see?
So the franchise, I'm going to go the one and only Toy Story. It is the well, aside from the fact that I'm slightly older than you, but it was the first. Not much, sure. It was the first Pixar movie that I ever watched. It is a core memory, sitting on the floor at Mum's place with the VHS sitting there next to me, and I'm watching through all the ads because I didn't know how to hit the fast forward button. And I'm reading the back of the case. Honestly, I'm super excited for it. I can see Buzz Lightyear coming out as a green card. I don't know why, I just can. But the left field answer to this.
100%.
I
think Steel, though. I think Steel.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it could also be Sapphire because he's very, very much a support character.
Yeah, I can see that coming. I can see that.
But my left field answer. This is not exactly a franchise, but it's a card that I'd love to see.
Yep.
10 cost, uninkable.
Okay, you've thought about this.
Yeah. 5/5 quest for 2. With the ability, when you play this character, banish chosen character.
Okay.
Clear, simple, it's easy. You banish it. The name of the card? Pixar Lamp. Destroyer of Light.
Basically the new Maleficent dragon, but more expensive. The stat line and cost would have to change, right? What if they made that thing like a 3-cost inkable or like a 2/2? Banish a character. Like, new dump truck. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When that card came out, I just looked at it like it's an 0-1 but deal 1 damage on play, and I'm like, oh, that's pretty funny. That's pretty funny.
Yeah, I couldn't help. I saw that and I was like, could you imagine if they just bring out the lamp?
Yeah, but what if it's like an action card too, like bounce on the eye or something?
Yeah, I like that. I like
that'd be cool.
bounce on light. Yeah, I like that.
All right, that's a pretty good question, but I got one down here, which I want to get your take on because I'm thinking it's pretty pertinent, right? Fabled has just really released. It's a shorter season than the ones we've recently been through, you know. We've got, what's it called? Whispers in the Well next in a few weeks.
Yep, Whispers in the Well.
We've got one question here, which I love, and I want to know, what advice would you give to new players? We touched on it a little bit with the deck building, like getting started, but Corey, like, what advice would you give? Like, if you had like one piece of advice, like a golden rule, what would it be?
Have fun.
Nice.
So it sounds so cliche, but to me, I find so much joy in this game that I don't care if I'm winning or losing. I don't care if I'm facing the top players or if I'm facing the worst players. Shout out to myself because I'm the worst players.
No, shut up.
I have so much fun with this game, but not so much just the game itself, but the community that we've built. It's one of those places where I can walk into that building and I genuinely feel welcome. That's my big thing.
I completely get what you mean. Like, you go in there, everybody's like, oh, hey, how you going? And it's people of all like ages and everything. Like, there's a family that come in, like a little family of 3. I mean, they've got a couple other kids at the hills. We spoke about them before. Lovely people. But you go from that to like a couple of us sort of like late 20s, early 30s. Then you've got like some adults. You've got like, you know, a wide variety of people, and they all just come in. And it's just like you sat down at a pub with your mates going, hey, what's up? How's your week been? You know, you're all right. Let's play some games. And yeah, that sense of community has been a really cool thing. But if I'm going to talk about like what advice would I give to a new player, aside from Corey's, because you took that into the words right out of my mouth.
My bad.
I think dive in, right? Like, it can be a really intimidating thing to get into. This, like, a TCG is no easy thing to sort of get your head around. Like, I'll say practice makes perfect or whatever, but it's nonsense, right? Like, go in, have fun, dive just head first and just see, like, where you find your footing. Because this game is so full of variety. It's so full of fun. There are loads of different ways that you can play and, like, find your style that I think it's just going to be a game that carries on for years and years and years.
Now,
next question.
Another interesting one.
Yeah.
And it's something that I think I already know your answer.
Oh God, am I that predictable?
What is your funniest, crazy combo moment you've ever had in one of your games?
Oh, it has to be that Beast Relentless combo for me that I was talking about a little bit earlier in the video, where you need a setup of 3 cards, right? And you need your opponent to have characters with a total of 10 health, like 10 willpower on the board, without ward. When I was building the deck, I saw it. I actually, it's not my deck. It's I can't remember who it was that I found a list from, but they were giving a guide about it, and it was like, hey, if you set up this, play Beast, then Sheriff, and then Bayou, and then move the Beast to the Bayou when it's dry. Quest, draw a discard, deal 1 damage, but then guess what? Ready. There's no restriction on what you can do next. So to see that combo, like, it popped off, and I'm gonna give Nora a shout out because I played this deck against her once as a bit of a joke, and she messaged me after the game, and she just messaged me like, what happened? It was the only time it's ever worked. Like, it's not a competitive deck at all. It was the only time she was set up to win, like, next turn. And I'm just there going, okay, gonna quest, ping, and she's seeing her cards get removed and removed and removed. And she messages me later and she's like, I missed it, what happened? And I'm sat there feeling proud because, like, an idea worked for the first time. Like, but yeah, that Beast Relentless combo I think holds a bit of a special place for me because it's what it was like the click, like the switch in my brain that went, you can do funny stuff in this game. Like, keep going. That's mine.
Yeah.
So, Corey, what was yours?
It definitely has to be the Tamatoa Lucky Dime combination.
I've lost many a game to that.
I love it. I had so much fun with it. But one of my craziest ever combinations was actually quite recent. It was just before rotation. And by just before rotation, it was literally the last round of play. I ended up ramping to the point where I was like, okay, I've got plenty of ink, but I'm not drawing into anything big to actually play with it. And then I consistent in 3 turns went big T, little T, dime. I'm like, all right, this is going to be fun. Yeah, I was like, oh, this is going to be fun. I had about 8 items on board too.
Oh.
So I was like, okay, no worries. So I went little T.
Yeah.
Next turn, quested him, drop dime, play big T.
Yeah.
And then I sat on that. I was like, all right, cool. Let's see what happens. And then, not kidding, top deck, another dime. So
that is disgusting, and you know
dime,
it. Like, as a player,
and then just went,
oh my god.
I ended up, for that turn, I feel really, really bad, but I ended up, I think, close to 40 law. It was 40 or 50 law. And I felt super bad for the opponent because there's nothing they could do to get around at the deck that they were playing, just couldn't pop items. I had cleared their field and I've just gone, all right.
Was this pre or post rotation?
Pre-rotation was the last round of finals.
Okay.
Last round of locals.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pre-rotation, yeah. I felt so bad. And I was like, this is nuts. And it's the one of them times ever popped off, and I'm like, this is great.
Yeah.
And then I got very excited to play it next week, and then realized that it was.
I tell you what, I remember playing against that Ruby Sapphire deck with the items and just watching it pop off. There's Oswald, there's Tamatoa, there's other Tamatoa, and I'm just looking at you going, all right, here's my turn. Really quick thing. I'll just like eat, play, maybe quest 2 things, and then I would sit there for like 5-10 minutes. Just watching you do all these like interactions and combos and just genuinely jaw to the floor, like, because how? Like, I'm saying, thinking like it's pretty cool if I get to draw maybe like 3 cards in a turn with my Ruby Amethyst deck, and then here's you going, oh yeah, play an item, pay 1, draw, pay 1, draw. I got another Maurice's Workshop, pay 1, draw. It's like, oh my god, and then you can exert that, banish that, do this and that, and I'm sat there thinking, if that crab comes down now, it's gone, it's over. And then what did you do? Bam, crab. And I'm like, oh, I cannot win.
I honestly miss that deck so much.
It was such a good
it is my
deck.
Infinity deck.
Oh, God.
Yeah, honestly, big Tamatoa, little Tamatoa, Haram, Popsicle, Fortesphere, I'll take it all. It's just...
I forgot that Haram and 40 are coming back for Infinity. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's honestly, it's probably going to be the strongest.
I'm
one of the strongest cards in the meta.
So concerned for Infinity. Like, I need to know what the ban list is because, oh my god, I'm seeing so many people go, I'm gonna put Powerline in this deck, and I'm like, no, please don't. I don't want him to sing Pirate's Life and then just get a B prep off the top. Like, no.
You know what? I'm very excited to see. Zensai had actually posted his Infinity list for Steel Song.
Oh no. No.
And it literally just runs Aurora and Tiana. That's the only difference. And it's crazy.
Shout out Zensai for coming up with cooked decks. All right. We got another question here, Corey. I want to get your... Speaking of decks and talking about, like, what are we going to do? There's another question here from our mate K-Dizzle that says, do you prefer a jack of all trades deck to try and combat all situations, or do you, like, focus in on, like, one thing? And it sort of goes back to what we were talking about before, but, like, what is your take on a jack of all versus a single focus deck?
Okay, pre-rotation, I was a single player, single combo player. My goal, Sapphire, get Tamatoa, get Dime out, done, game. Now, I really, really enjoy something that can get around things. Much like yourself, I'm loving that control, but I'm loving being able to build such a board that it's near impossible for my opponents to get around.
Yeah, like forcing them to actually have to interact with you negatively.
Yeah, that's exactly right. If you want to stop me, sacrifice your own stuff. You pay the ink to pay that action, or you're challenging my stuff. Outside of that, there's no stopping it.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of that jack of all trades, being able to control, being able to force my opponent into doing things, having draw power, having the resources. It's just so much fun to have that kind of deck.
Do you know what? I agree. I have most of my decks that I'm currently running, so I'll talk post rotation. My stuff is mostly, it has like a single focus. It has like the main thing that sort of branches off on like, hey, this could happen or this could happen, so here is an answer for that or this. And I think that for me, and it comes in with the blue-green chat we were having about like, how do you make that kind of deck work? Again, it's a control format. There are loads of other options to try. But for me, if I really want to set up for something, I'm thinking, how do I get as much resource while still controlling their board? And for me, that came in the form of things like, Clarabelle. She's becoming more of a menace this set. The 3-cost Clarabelle has come back in my deck because she can sing things like Mother Knows Best or Stand Out to give evasive. Just things like that, where there is an out for quite a few situations. Like, let's say I'm up against Amethyst Steel. My opponent just plays a Cobra turn 3 after my turn 3. And what do I need to do? Like, if I turn my cow sideways, I can't get that shift off. So what do? Sing Stand Out. Give the Cobra evasive, boom, gone. Like, because you're choosing it for an action, right? So I have outs for, like, yeah, jack of all kind of vibe, but it still has the main focus of I'm getting resource, I'm getting big bodies, and I'm getting cards. It kind of is jack of all, but for one purpose.
Yep.
Like, it's a combo, right? Combo, actually, that's the better word for it. It's a combo deck.
Yeah.
All right, we got time for maybe 1 or 2 more questions from the community. So, Corey, you get one. Let's have a look. What do we got?
So I think I really do like this one, and it leads into that. How do you play? This one from Sam Enchanted. How do you prepare for a tournament?
That is a really good question. I think it comes down to like the conversation we were having about like, how do you prepare for meta? Because when you're looking at tournaments, you're looking at competitions in your local area, or if you're going to things like DLC, right? You'll prepare for your local scene. You'll see what the meta is like there. You might watch some YouTube vids. You might see what tournaments are happening overseas. You might look on Dreamborn.inc's like trending tab and see what decks are going like really high rating at the minute. And I think like test online, like Inktable is a great tool. It's against AI. It still makes some, mess ups, and it doesn't quite play like a person would, but it gives you a good sense of like, how do I do this if it's not the day your locals is on, right? Like, always go for your locals because you're against people. But I think getting a sense of that meta scene, like in your local area, especially if you're doing like set champs, is a really good vibe, because it lets you prepare your deck for how to, what I was saying earlier, like counter various things, like have an out, have a response. But if you're looking at tournaments where you might have to travel interstate or, to a different country, like if you're going to DLCs across the world, have a look online, like see what is happening around in that area. Maybe some other tournaments have happened. Maybe some people are like content creators are talking about these big decks. Like Joe Curley will handle a lot of what happens in Europe. You've got people like Martin Lorcana that do things in Italy and around that kind of vibe. You've got loads of creators, especially in the States as well, that will have their like all-encompassing what's happening around them. And I think that's something that is valuable as a player just to have an eye on.
I personally find it as a more practical side of things to prepare for a tournament. Extra deck sleeves, notepad.
Oh, that kind of thing, yeah.
Pens. This is just how I decided to look at that question.
I'm so here thinking, like, look at the meta, look at what you're going to go up against. And you're going, just bring some sleeves, man, you know? No, valid point, though. Really valid point. Bring some extra sleeves.
I always take, when I'm doing a big tournament, I'll take 10 to 15 excess in sleeves that are exactly the same as what I'm currently running. We saw very recently a big disqualification in the top 4 in the tournament because it's sleeves marked. I've seen it a few times where mid-game people have copped the DQ and have to switch their sleeves out.
Even if your sleeves are like too transparent as well, like sometimes they don't let you play in these tournaments. I think it's in the rules that you can't have sleeves where you can see the back of your cards because some people do mark them.
Yeah, just put that little silver dot somewhere and be like, oh, it's an ink mark. Actually, that's the card you need, man.
So watch out for that.
But on a more practical side of view, we're looking, bring some extra sleeves. Bring a little notepad to keep track of your lore, a pen or pencils, water bottle. Honestly, keep it there for a long time.
Like, bring some snacks, man. Like, set champs are brutal.
But overall, I think preparing comes down to your mental state, making sure you're up to date with the meta, making sure you're up to date with your own deck, having your extra supplies.
Yeah. I might add on, just like know your deck as well. Like, you're going to a tournament, you're going to an event. I think if you're going there to be competitive, making sure that you've practiced with your deck, you know it, you have a proper deck list so that if you get checked on the day, everything's valid, everything's fine. I think that side of the prep, the practical side of the prep, making sure everything's in order before you go, you know, notepad, pen, although I think the rules just changed so you can use your phone now. But yeah, look, take what you need, stay hydrated. If you need something to eat, take something to eat or buy from the shop, and prepare yourself for a full-on day.
Yeah, they're not easy days, that's for sure. They're fun.
They are very fun, but they are a bit of a slog. So you got to get some resilience in there too. But Corey, look, I think last question I want to end on is a bit of a fun one, right? And it's it's from a friend, Lorcana, and she wants to know what Lorcana card represents you. I know mine, and I think you might agree with mine, but I want to know what's yours.
I don't know. I hadn't thought
It's
about
tough
that.
one, right? There are a lot.
There's a lot of cards. Yeah.
I tell you what, I'll say mine while you're thinking about it, because I think you might agree with this. Hades Infernal Schemer.
Yeah.
I'm always looking at ways to make people like struggle playing me. So, would you agree?
Yeah, I definitely would.
Say no more, right?
Without it sounding nasty, but Hades, to play Hades, it's very calculated. You've got to pick the right moment. You've got to play it play it on the right card. And then he's a beast to get rid of. That 4/6 stat line quest for 2. It's still a beast. And I think just about every deck that I've versed you has had Hades in it somewhere or another. Aside from, red, purple, and decks that just don't run good.
My red purple has Hades.
Actually, it has Hades.
It has Hades.
It does have
Ruthless
Hades.
Tyrant.
I think you've had Hades in every deck you've ever played.
Even in my purple Steel Titan deck, I had Hades. Steel Hades. Yeah. I love him. He's my favorite character. Favorite villain for sure. But no, go on. What's yours? If you had to think, like, what card do you think represents you the best? Can be a character, action, item, probably Lucky Dime.
We've said it a few times. I'm gonna have to say Tamatoa.
You reckon?
Okay. Yeah, the big Tamatoa from set 1 because so shiny. Because the way that I look at that card, it was the introduction to look.
Yeah.
I liked that card more than most of the legendaries out. That includes the Hades, because that was my game style. That was let's build a board that you really can't interact with, and then I'm just gonna quest. that was how I looked at Lorcana. That's how I was introduced to it. But for me, it's what dragged me to the game that I enjoy so much.
Yeah, that's so fair.
And I would love to be that person to new players. I want to be that shining light that brings players in and they realize how fun this game is. And the crazy things that you can do with the cards that you have in front of you.
Oh,
and the
so
combinations
many combos. Yeah.
Oh yeah. The combos that you can make not only with the cards that are on your board, but the combos with your friends. Take us, for example, we've started Hoard. We were friends way before we started this YouTube channel, and we've become really close in real life. But on top of that, we've become close with a family that comes from the mountains. We've got some really good friends that travel out from well and truly past Parramatta to just come say hello to us.
It's pretty fun. I love the community.
Yeah, definitely. And I think I wouldn't say that I'm that shining light, but I know Lorcana is.
I just think it brings everybody in, right? Like, I definitely think that the community itself just gravitates towards each other because they all love that, you know, oh, hey, you're a nerd like me, you love playing this game, I love this game, let's play cards, right? Like, I think it's really cool. Tamatoa, you're hoarding all your shiny things.
Yeah.
Members of the community.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. We put a question out to our local community.
Yes.
And this is something that I want to put
How did
out.
I forget about this?
I'm going to put this out to our followers.
Yeah.
Subscribed or not, but you should be subscribed. If you're not, hit the button. Subscribed if you're following us on Instagram, if you're following us on Facebook. This question goes out to you. And I read a response to this from one of our friends, and it actually made me tear up because it is so true. But the question was, what is Lorcana to you? We had some couple of great responses. One person said that definitely made a sense of community and friendship. It's time to have a laugh and be creative. Following that, it was time to see people who enjoy the game and keep the long-running last place intact.
I think I know who said that too.
Last place is to share. I like taking that spot as well. But the common thing is to see people and to enjoy the game. But then we had this one from RSK. In a world of Disney Lorcana, every card tells a story. As do we. Joining this community means stepping into an adventure where new friendships are discovered, laughter is shared, and together we create a family as magical as the ones we found in our favorite Disney tales. Here, we're not just players, we're dreamers, heroes, and allies on a journey that grows brighter with every match and every villain.
By villain, does he mean me? Nah, shout out to Kev. That was really nice. I read that too, and yeah, as funny as it is, and as whimsical as it might be, you know, Lorcana's great. It's a great game. It's brought loads of people together. You know, it's this like world-renowned stage now where we've got, you know, a world championship and national champs and stuff. And look, you meet your friends, you play some fun cards. It's great. Love it.
Yeah. Love it. We'll always be there for it. Very, 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 very excited for the next set, which drops in a few weeks. But our question to you: what has Lorcana meant to you? And to be honest, I'm really looking forward to those comments, reading them, and then next time we do one.
Yeah, let us know. Yeah, I'd love to see what does Lorcana mean to you guys. Let us know in the comments. Give us a shout. We'll try and respond to as many people as we can. I have notifications turned off, so I'll check when I can.
It just goes ballistic otherwise.
Oh god, my phone. But yeah. Alright guys, well look, thank you very much for tuning in to another Hoard video. I'm Sam, this is Corey, and we have been your hosts and the people that have chewed your ear off all day. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz. We've got Instagram, we've got Facebook, we're here. We've got some more gameplay up. I think the last one we did was Wednesday, so check that out. We do a gameplay every Wednesday where we can. I've got some more that are in the works. Corey's got some cool vids coming, so stay tuned for some more cracker cards. And yeah, we'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you.
Cheers.